My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, At the Bench is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. When you register, you must use your real first and last name separated by a space. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself. So, but if you you have to do this during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come on in then, post your question or comment there during the live stream. If it's not convenient for you to watch the whole show, because I understand that we're late for some and too early for others, and watch the replay like a lot of people do. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And please consider subscribing, sharing the videos, comments, all those engagements help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please also consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And that is incredible value because we have some of us have 60 years experience building and flying model airplanes. I know some of us are that old that we have 60 years experience, but not all of us are that old. But I'm also a member of it. I support it, and I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. So I'm not asking you, this is I'm not doing myself. Plus, like I said, you can glean all kinds of information and knowledge from these experts in the field of model aviation. So please partner up with me and support the channel, and I really appreciate that. Now, if you don't want to do a monthly subscription of $4.99 like what I do, you can do the super chats, which is located below the chat box over here. It's like a big dollar sign, and you can donate any amount you like. Again, you have to do that during the live stream. So come on in during the live stream. Like I said many times already, Monday and Friday nights, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make a donation then, and then maybe come back later and watch the show at a later convenient time. Now, I want you to know that this is, before I go in that, when you do subscribe, you're going to become a member of the family. You're going to have access to member-only videos. They're videos that only members can access. So you get that, plus Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. And so please consider joining the Stunthangar YouTube channel memberships, just $4.99 a month, like a cup of coffee once a month. Anyways, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. And if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. Like we fly control line, my channel is called Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you will, go there and locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. Now, back then when I flew it in 2019, it was orange, and now it's white with orange trim. So, but check it out. I had a chance to fly at the Nationals and with 5 trained judges, and it was quite a bucket list thing for me to do all the way from California to make it to Muncie, Indiana. So please check it out. And I was being very careful with Sparky's airplane, kept it out of danger, and I returned it to him without a scratch. So I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words to do things you wouldn't say or do to your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at stunthangar.com. Let me go there now and post a link. Just give me a moment here. And let's see here. And all right, the link is posted. Great. Now I'm going to make my way over to what I call the control panel. We are streaming live on YouTube. And let me see how it's streaming. Let me get over there and let me make sure that looks good. And I got to do a few more clicks here to get to where I need to get to the control panel. Hope everyone had a good week. I know this is Friday and going into the weekend, and I hope everyone had a good week. I went flying today with my buddy Stuart Mossman, who mostly flies combat. He doesn't necessarily fly in combat as far as in contests, but he flies combat planes. And I always have a good time with my flying buddies, and he's no exception. Let's see here. Looks like we are streaming. We have 5 likes so far. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Looks like Gary Sinclair is the first one in the chat box. He posted us with a like, and he's a member of our YouTube channel. He's also the monitor of the chat. So tread lightly over there. So we have, I'm showing 6 concurrent viewers. Focus on your live stream and let your YouTube insert ads for you. Let's see, I guess I'll turn that on. Anyways, all right, cool. I'm just getting some messages on YouTube in the control panel. So looks like I said, we have 6 concurrent viewers, 5 likes. Thank you very much. There's just one person out there. Now we have 8 concurrent viewers. So please hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps the analytics of the show. Hopefully this show will become a recommended view on someone brand new. Maybe they've done something on YouTube, which the analytics say this is something they might be interested in watching. And we have Marcel Legrand. He says, hi, Charles, and everyone on Stunthangar. Thank you very much, Marcel Legrand. First time you haven't mentioned stunt school. All right, that's cool. But I know you don't need to do it every single time. I'm just teasing you. Looks like Gary Sinclair is making his way in here. And hey, Gary, how you doing?
Pretty good. You made her. Did you like my plane that I gave you last?
Yeah, I did. I did, because that was the Zealot. That one.
Yeah.
That was Phil Granderson. He's one of my.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to know Phil Granderson very well. Unfortunately, I really wish that we could have become friends. But you know, when I came into the hobby, I started competing. He was kind of on his way out. He was already kind of, you know, just kind of coming out of it. He wasn't competing. I think I saw him compete in 2015, and then he just did some. I know he did some appearance judging, but he was having, you know, he'd been in the hobby for a long time. But that's one of his planes, and I like that plane. It's very different, huh?
It is. It was fun to do.
Was it really? Now, did you actually draw that freehand, or how did you do that?
And on the computer, yeah.
So you saw an image and you just drew it based upon the image you saw?
Yeah, well, I use the image to start out with and then outline it, and then.
Very nice. I know, I wonder if he's watching us. I'm trying to think of his name. He's up in Northern California. I could see him, and but he actually built one. No, he built a Diva, The Diva is another one of Philip Granderson's airplanes. The Zealot was one, and the Diva, and there's probably many other. And Howard could tell you more than I could. Looks like we had Gordon for a second, and then he's out of here. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, those are some interesting designs.
Yeah,
Very different.
Very different. Yeah.
You know who else you might like is Jim Armour. Jim Armour, he has a design called something extreme. He won the concourse a couple years ago. Actually, he won it when I was there in 2019. His plane also looks different. It's kind of like how, not in the same way, but you know how Phil Granderson's designs look different? Well, Jim Armour's look different too. Not like the typical stunt ship. You know, stunt ships kind of look kind of similar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but that Jim Armour's design, Phil Granderson's, and there's probably some other planes out there that escapes me momentarily. And of course, Bob Hunt, he has really pretty designs. And Sparky as well. And
I was watching Sparky work on his plane today.
Yeah, that's pretty neat watching him work on the Viper.
Yeah.
And I saw a little bit of him flying this morning.
I did too. Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw a little bit of it before I went out flying. I went flying with my flying friend, Stuart Mossman, this morning, and took out the SV11 and flew that. I only got 4 flights in, but 4 flights is better than no flights. And I might get a chance to go flying tomorrow. Joe Mata and I might be able to get a chance to fly before this
storm comes. Huh?
Storm comes, yeah. Because I'm afraid that when the storm comes, all that rain, the grass is the field's gonna be too wet to mow. And then by the time I get around to flying again Friday, the field's probably not gonna be in good condition. So if you're listening, Joe Mata, I think it'd be good for us to go flying tomorrow. Before this.
So you guys flying like Sparky does? You just take one plane off and put another plane on, and they go up. And then
yeah. It's just like that. Yeah, very similar. Yeah, we're coming off. Something else is going on.
Yeah.
It all depends upon how many people we have. It's not as a lot of times it's just 3 of us, but when it's 4 of us, as 2 people, it takes 2 people to take the plane on and off the circle. And sometimes when you have 4 people, you have 2 waiting. And when you come off, then the other 2 go on. But with 3, lately it's been 3 mostly, so it's kind of hard to do it. But we do it. It's a lot of fun. Matter of fact, when Joe Mata first saw me fly with Dave Sabon and Bob Brooks and maybe someone else, it was so organized, so succinct. He thought we was professionals. He didn't want to interrupt. He thought we so.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me say hi to I'm not sure who's next, but Steve, the original Steve Smith in St. Louis, not his stepson, but the original Steve Smith.
That's right, Charles. It's Friday, not Monday.
Did I say Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta fix that. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
That happens.
Point that out.
That happens every blue moon. I do that. And I got to fix it in 2 places too, So I didn't make the mistake once. I made the mistake twice. So I'm fixing the YouTube right now. Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you make the same mistake twice in the pattern, that's double the deduction,
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm working on starting at the entry of the maneuver and then ending at that same part. I'm working at that. Yeah.
Which maneuver?
Do that better, and then come back.
All maneuvers in general, or what?
Yeah, in general, just working on that. Yeah.
Because some maneuvers start and end at different points.
That's true, but you know what I mean. The ones that you start at level flight, those, and then come back.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. Hey, Tryanne, how you doing?
Good.
Yes, I was talking to a friend of mine, Eric Rule, and I was telling him I was wanting to build an SV11 so I can get appearance points.
Yeah.
And he said, well, how much appearance points do you think you're going to get when you build your plane? I go, well, I'd like to get between 13 and 15. And he goes, well, Yeah, that's pretty good. But you know what? If you just would start and end your maneuvers throughout the pattern, you'd pick up more than that.
1 point per maneuver.
That's absolutely true. I agree with him. Alan Golf used to go as far as, he would build his planes as simple as possible, even though they were very highly competitive, like he was built SV11, stuff like that. He did a very nice job covering them with some kind of film, monocoat, ultra coat, you choose your poison. And he would paint the fuselage, but he would have still get about 12, 13, 14 points at the nets for that. And he said, instead of spending time finishing and all the stuff over there, you better off spending the time in the air.
Right.
And that was kind of his philosophy. And
Just a minute.
what I know, eventually he won advance and he moved up to
Pause the sound. Okay.
flying. Yeah.
Well, now watch my meeting passcode and my name and all
I'm
that.
gonna mute you, Gordon. Go ahead, Tryon.
Yeah, I think you're on, Gordon. We need to
Yeah.
see the top of your head, though.
Yeah. So
Oh, he's muted.
I muted him. I think he was talking to Bart.
Oh,
Steve,
there
do
we go.
you
He's getting it
fly
lined
with
up.
Sparky at Butler Park?
Yeah. Yeah,
Are
we
you
were
the
out there
lefty?
this morning.
Are you the lefty?
No, that's Mark Hughes.
He had a tune pipe plane, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's something he kind of just put together recently for, I guess it was a PA 75 that he's got.
It's running very well. I mean, that's the one plane that had the best motor run out of everything over there.
Yeah.
What model plane is Mark Hughes flying?
It's his own design. He just drew it up on butcher paper and went from there.
Okay.
Gets the job done, huh?
Yeah.
That works. I had a friend I used to meet for lunch, and he would draw a plane on a napkin, and he would go, "What do you think about this, Charles?" Oh, that is beautiful. And then a couple of weeks later, or next time we got together flying, there it was. And I was like, "How do you do that?" And Sparky was saying, "Yeah, that's what Sparky does.
Yeah.
Draw something, and then he'll just make a plane. He knows." So even like doing the plans for the Viper, it's not something he ordinarily does because he just builds planes. He sees it in his mind and he builds it,
Yeah.
Well, if you follow certain proportions,
Yeah, he does. Most of his planes, the bigger ones, are based on like a geobolt wing, and he just changes the outlines, but all the numbers stay the same.
Yes. Yeah, if you look at the root chord of, for example, if you take the top view of an SV11, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you keep the wingspan, keep the flaps ratio, because the outboard flaps are a little bit wider than the inboard flaps at the tip, and you keep those ratios correct and stuff like that, put some decent airfoil on them, build them light enough, they're going to fly well, pretty much. It's just like, yeah. I'll probably but that's just me, I'll take any plan out there, just move the elevator back like 1.5 inches, even 2 inches, and even get more performance out of it. But oh well. But for most part, if you maintain your relationship, you're fine. Then probably another thing I would consider when you do your own design is that for electric, I'd keep a thinner wing, right? For IC, I think the SV11 has a chord of, I'm not sure what, but I think that's pretty good. The SV11 wing is pretty good, shape-wise and everything else. Whether you're building with an I-beam, geodesic, classic construction, composite, whatever, it really doesn't matter much.
Does Brodak have the SV11 set up for electric? Did they find any more of those?
I don't know. I know that the last Brodax, what was it, a couple years ago, Mike Lonke was there. He texted me and said, Charles, they found a pallet of SV11s electrics.
Yeah.
And I bought one. I bought a second one then. And so I don't know if they found any more. I don't know. That's a good question. But let me welcome everybody in here. And Gordon Delaney, who was in there after trying. Thank you, Gordon. Was you trying to help Bart Koplinski get set up? Oh, you're muted, by the way. I muted you, Gordon. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Gordon. Down in your lower left corner of your screen, hit the microphone, and that should enable your microphone. Down in the lower left corner, Gordon, you should see a move your cursor around, and
I see it.
okay, great. So I was asking you, was you speaking to Bart Koplinski, helping him get set up?
Yeah, I was trying to get him online. He couldn't do it. He'd get so far, and then it asked for his password and a bunch of stuff which he didn't have.
Oh, shucks. I'll email him that link, and that way he'll be able to get right in here. Let me do that now. I think I have his email address. Let me see here. Bart.
Is it BK?
Yeah, I got it. I don't want to advertise. I got it. I found it.
Okay.
I'll send this to him. Hopefully he'll know what to do with it. Anyways, hey, Mark Gerber, thanks for coming in. How you doing?
Good, Charles.
Hey, there's Sparky.
What you been up to?
Well, I'm still working on my SV11. I got my old Marf Nobler out and I've been flying that some.
Oh, good. Let me get this real quick. Let me see here. Invite, I'll copy the link. Okay, and now I don't know if hey Gordon, you mind calling Bart and just tell him I emailed it to him, and he can just open up that email and then he can click on that link, and that should bring him right in.
I'll do that. I'm going to mute again here.
All right, thank you, Gordon. Anyways, working on an SV11. This is going to be one you built from a kit, or is this an ARF? I might have asked this before, but I'm sorry.
No, it's an ARF I got from Brodak last October.
Oh, good.
And at that point, they had this is a glow engine version. And at that point, they had 6 left.
Oh, good for you for snagging it up.
I think they sold the rest of them soon after that. So
Yeah,
I don't know
There's
about
none
electrics.
none on the website.
yeah. There haven't been any on the website in a long time. Even when they found the pallet, they weren't showing up on the website. I feel really fortunate. So I bought one, and then my flying buddy Joe Mata bought one. So I have another one, a new in the box electric RF SV11, but it's green like my other one. And then a friend of mine crashed a green SV11, knocked off the nose, and I asked him what was he going to do with it, and he said, "You want it?" I said, "Yeah." So I have another one that I got just built a new fuselage, and that should be good to go too. So I really like the SV11s. I mean, until I find something else that's convenient to fly and then better to fly, but I like them. They're good flying planes. It's served me well so far. So how far along are you on the? What do you got to do next on the SV11, Mark?
I'm about ready to assemble it together. I got the flaps and the elevator all put together and all the work done on the engine compartment up front, and the tank I built for it myself. And I just sealed the engine compartment today. I'm letting that dry now. And tomorrow I'll probably try to glue the wing on and then stabilizer and put the push rod in and glue the rest of the pieces on. I should be ready to go.
What are you going to use for power?
It's a Super Tiger 60.
Oh, that should be nice. That should
Like,
be nice.
Super Tiger 51, isn't it? Or is it an old one?
oh, it's a 60.
Oh, it's 60.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hard of hearing.
That should be nice. I've seen one with an Evolution 60 or 61. I also saw one with a Super Tiger 51. And those two were we're very capable of hauling that thing around. No problem.
Well, I was looking for a plane I could put a 60 in that I could use as an engine test bed for my Bearcat.
Right.
So I bought a SV11 ARF kit at Brodax a year ago last June. And at that point, I think they had several dozen by the front door, and they were $225 or something. That was a pretty reasonable price, I thought.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I crashed it in October. And I turned around and called them and said, "Hey, you got any more of them?" And they said, 6.
Good for you. Lucky you.
Yeah. So I said, "Well, I'll take one." So I got one of the last 6. And like I said, I think the rest of them were gone soon after that.
Yeah, I think so.
So I before I crashed it, I was able to fly it. I've got 2 Super Tiger 60s, and I flew both of them in it and got a good sense of how they ran. So after that, I just went ahead and finished my Bearcat, and now the Bearcat's done, I'm going to finish the SV11. So
Very good. Very good.
it was a good flying plane.
Yeah, they are. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. As good habits. And
And I'm gonna go to the King Orange.
oh,
son-
really? Oh, fantastic.
My son lives in Florida, and I'm going to fly down from Colorado, spend a couple of weeks there with the grandkids and my wife, and I happen to conveniently schedule it so King Orange is right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So I'll drive up to Lake City up there, and Will Davis said he'd bring me an electric SV11
Oh,
to
cool.
fly. So
Oh, cool. Okay, I was going to ask you next. What was you going to fly?
that's what kind of inspired me to go ahead and finish the Glow version that I have, is get that back in the air and get familiar with the SV11 again.
Good strategy. Good
Is there
strategy.
nobody's on from down in the Southeast, are they right now? I got a friend that wants to fly up to the King Orange. He's got his son-in-law who's got an airplane. He's a private pilot, and he wanted to know where he could land up there. And I said, well, I thought it was being held at an airstrip. I didn't know if they closed the airstrip while they're doing the contest or not.
Anybody know about King Orange?
Maybe
Last time I went there was years ago.
Okay.
Maybe somebody from the Southeast will get on here in a little while. We
I
can
think
ask.
I think people fly in to King Orange, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it looks like it's being held at a private airstrip. It
Oh,
looks
that
like
one. I'm confusing that with something else. I'm thinking of the one that thinking of another one. Yeah, that's not the same one. You're right. Yeah. Well, let me welcome Jonathan Carradas. How you doing, Jonathan?
Yeah, good, thanks. Raining here today. Going to rain harder tomorrow. So I've just been messing around. I'm just looking at it. I'll show you when you're ready. I've got a rough layout of the Hurricane that I've designed. I put an LA-46 in it, and I've just got it hanging up over there. Looking at it from here, I can see a couple of blues in it I need to fix up, but yeah, I think it'll go okay.
Good. Let me speed up a little bit.
Okay, I just got a text from Will Davis. He must be listening in. He said the strip is open for general aviation. So,
Oh, good. Good. That's good news.
hey, while we're talking about hurricanes, I saw where they got a serious forest fire up in Canada, and they're evacuating Yellowknife.
When you said hurricane, I thought you meant airplanes.
That's what
I'm talking about airplanes.
Okay.
Because it reminded me of Gordon Van Tighem, because he's a big hurricane fan. And Gordon lives in Yellowknife.
right.
I'm kind of concerned that he may have to evacuate, or may already
Yeah.
have.
All right. Let
But
me.
he's a big hurricane fan. He's come to VSC for quite a few years. Long drive for him, but they come down every year.
Looks like Howard's out and Stuart left. Somebody just say hi to Lynn Burrell. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? I know you're muted. Your mic is muted. And hi, thank you, Howard. And thank you for Lynn.
How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
You been doing any building or flying?
I'm getting ready to go to Michigan tomorrow, the contest.
Oh, really? Oh, that's great.
That's the plan.
Fantastic. And what do you
Tomorrow
take?
and Sunday.
What are you taking and what are you competing in?
I'll compete in everything, and I'll take the big windy Cardinal and my profile Blaze and the old time Viking. That's what I'm taking.
Very nice. Very nice.
Excited.
Well, hope you do really well. I'm sure you will. I'm looking forward
We'll
to
have fun. Brad Lapointe and I are going, so I'm sure we'll have fun. We went last year. We had a good time, so hopefully it'll be good again this year.
Very good. Very good. Let me say hi to John Miller. Hey, John, how you doing, John? I caught you just in time, just like a waitress. Right when you put a bite in. How are you? How's everything?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, good.
John?
Hey, how you doing, Gordy?
And Gordy's
Oh, look at
eating
that.
too. Hey, Gordon, did you get a chance? Did you catch up with Bart?
Went to voicemail.
Went to voicemail. Okay. Ah, it's too bad.
Talked to somebody else.
Yeah. And let me say hi to Sparky. Hey, Sparky, thanks for coming in. You're eating too.
Yeah. As long as everybody else is eating, I'll turn on my camera.
You know, I got my camera too. I mean, I got my popcorn to eat too. So it's a long show, so we need to eat and keep hydrated.
Keep the energy up. Yep.
So what are you doing, Howard? What are you up to?
Oh, I'm fixing my airplane carrying box. If you make an airplane carrying box, follow Tryan's instructions. I think he's got the way to do it.
Okay, I'm not even aware of his instructions.
Oh, in fact, I forgot the source he told me for the aluminum corner.
Reliable hardware.
Reliable hardware.
So you have plans, Tryan, for a flight box?
No, I don't have, but it's the way they make the boxes over there. It's the same way that the people make their carrying cases for the musical instruments. I'm not sure if you saw that they have some aluminum extrusions that are riveted outside, and they have the sides are made out of plywood that's laminated with a piece of thick ABS plastic. They look nice.
Very cool.
Here. Let me see if I can find something, and I'll show you guys how they look.
Thank you.
Goodness.
And let me say hi to Mark Wise. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing well. I'd like to just take a couple of minutes and tell you about a Zoom meeting I was on Wednesday.
Okay.
There were maybe 8 or 10 on it, including Rich Hansen, the president of AMA, and Chad Boudreau. And basically the topic was that the International Aeromodeling Center site, the field, is in need of repair. The LPAD needs repair, the racing circle needs repair. So the question is, should the money be spent repairing old structures, or is this a good time to look at the entire facility, the entire campus, and maybe redesign it? Which is kind of an exciting topic. I don't know if everyone could get what they want. It's possible, I guess. And so there are a couple of maps that are floating around, a couple of plans, one that was done, I think maybe around 91, 92, the original. And then there's some later plans. So we're just looking at it. AMA has some money to spend. It's somewhere, my best guess, between maybe 1 and 3 million. When you start fixing something as big as the LPAD, that can take $750,000 to do. So they're trying to stretch the money, which I understand. And those of you who've flown at the LPAD, it's a pretty good site. There's not a lot of trees. There are no trees there. The wind is fairly consistent. But you have free flight, you have all kinds of other disciplines. So we're going to start working on this. My agenda is a little bit different because I have the Nats and the world on my agenda, which not everyone does. So a lot going on. Paul Walker and I are starting to spend a lot of time talking about the worlds and what we need to do. So a lot going on, nothing bad, just a lot of work, and that's okay. That's all right. So I'm trying to figure out a little more time to fly and see if I can get that on my calendar. And as far as the committees go, I see Steve Smith is up there, the original Steve Smith, and he came up with a very nice document, really a system to teach new people how to judge, how to use the rule book, how to judge a contest. And that's part of the planning committee. Yesterday at a Zoom meeting that's part of the judging committee. Last night I had a meeting with the planning committee, and we're looking at doing a second survey to our members. The first survey got a tremendous response, about 54%. And basically we're looking for what kind of talent do our members have that we don't know of? For example, are there people out there really savvy in Facebook? Are there people out there that understand donations and raising money for a nonprofit? So we have a whole bunch of things we'd like to see if we can find some in-house talent to help. Because right now we don't have a budget that's going to let us, get people from the outside. So a lot of good things going on. I think we're pushing close to 290 members, and that's almost 50 better than 15, 60 months ago. So we're doing well. We're getting things in the right direction. So there you go.
Very good. That's awesome.
Mark, did you get that stuff about judging I sent over a couple of weeks ago to you?
If you did, I got it. Yes, I did. I got a lot going on right now, so I didn't get back to you. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
But yes, and that's turning out to be a very interesting committee. I mean that in a real positive way on how do you take something that probably hasn't been looked at in a very long time and try to get it a little more concise, a little more consistent maybe, and really we're just trying to give judges easier ways to judge, to be more consistent. It's a hard job judging, especially if you're looking at national championships.
Yeah.
You try not to make mistakes. I think it's common. I think it's just our good nature. We don't want to give low scores out when the stakes are real high. Honestly, it's just human nature. So we're working to really follow the rule book. One of the things that came up was that we're probably not doing a great job judging circles. Everyone tends to focus on corners, but you know what? It's a hard thing making a perfect circle. It truly is. It truly is.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a good group. We got a head judge. We got a very senior judge, Steve Smith. We got some Nats and world champions on there. We have Tim Just, who's very familiar with judging full-scale aerobatics, and some of it is very much the same. It's terribly subjective, and you have to try to take some of that out somehow.
Yeah.
And the golden rule is, I'm not sure how you do this, but the golden rule is the best flyer should determine who wins. The judges shouldn't determine who wins. The best flyer should determine who wins. But that's a very fine line, because the judges are doing their best part and the pilots are doing their same. So it's not that we have problems with the people judging. We're just trying to make it consistent, follow the rule book, and give them really more time to become experienced judges.
Yeah. I think as a judge, you it's important to practice doing judging whenever you can too. I'll often sit down and watch the other guys, and I'll sit down with a score sheet. And I ask them first if they, would like to be judged. And most of the time they say yes, because it's good feedback for them too. And I can quite openly discuss why they didn't get a decent score here or there. And
Absolutely. And
they'll
Steve
fly
has
again
that,
and concentrate on that, So it's
Yeah.
good for me. It's good for them. Yeah.
it is, Steve has that in a system where a student judge would stand behind a seasoned judge and
Yeah.
keep score, but that score won't be counted. And then they can talk about at the end of it, what did the students see? What did the experienced judge
Yes.
see? And when you think about it, you have very experienced pilots who've spent eons of hours building, trimming, painting, practicing, retrimming. And then you have judges who don't have as much experience. If it's a contest where you're not getting a lot of volunteers, you may have judges with no experience.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that's the other thing we're trying to accomplish, Mark, is to expand the cadre of judges.
Absolutely. Even to the point, that's true. Thank you, Steve. Even to the point of, making the position of a judge, something that's more attractive, and people need to understand just how important that is. It's not a fallback position. It's not for people that can't fly.
No.
It's for people willing to put their reputation on the line, by being unbiased and watching maneuvers and comparing it to the rule book. And that is not
sure.
It's not easy.
No.
I've done some judging, and it's not easy.
Yep.
Hey, Jonathan Karatis, you want to show us that hurricane?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll just get up and I've had to move house today into another room.
Okay.
I got banished by the family.
That's happened before on this show. I think it happened when Rusty with Knowlton was doing it. Oh, look at that.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's a little blurry, but I can make it out. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it looks good.
I wonder if it's
I'm sort of trying to aim the camera while I'm looking at it from a funny angle.
It looks good.
Do you fly on grass, Jonathan?
Pardon?
Do you fly on grass?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
landing here is pretty far forward for pavement.
We would love. I might actually put that undercarriage in the wing yet. But yeah, we would love to have an asphalt area, a covered area, but we just don't have that here. At the Nationals, the speed guys do. They've got a concrete circle. There are places around New Zealand that have, a hard surface.
How big is that plane, Jonathan?
Right?
How big is that plane? What size motor?
It's 52 inches across the wingspan in your speak. That's about 133 centimeters, I think it is. So it's reasonably big.
It's 40 size plane then. 40 size.
Sorry?
35, 40 motors.
Putting a 46 LA in it.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, show us the progress on it. I'd be interested.
Yeah, just by looking at it.
Yeah. When I start, I'll show it to you as I go. The wing I got actually from the plan of a Challenger in the end. It kind of had what I wanted.
Are you going to put? Are you going to put dihedral in a wing? Are you going to put dihedral in a wing?
Put what in the wing?
Dihedral.
Dihedral.
No.
No. In that case, I'll probably move the wing a little bit higher than what you have it. Having the wing on the bottom and all the weight on top of the wing is going to make the plane fly weird.
Yeah, I wanted to. I think initially, what I've done, I'm just looking at the plan while I'm talking to you now. What I've done is I've actually widened the fuselage. It was a little bit too stretched out. So you're quite right. The wing could come up a wee bit. I wanted to keep that belly, you know, sort of semi-scale, because the Hurricane had the wing goes across flat almost, and then a little bit of dihedral out from the undercarriage out on the real.
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends what your goal is. Do you want to make a semi-scale stunner? So it needs to be a stunner first and then a scale plane, or just it's a scale plane?
No. Semi-scale stunter. That's my that's the area that I'm interested in.
Yeah. In that case, you need to prioritize performance. You need to prioritize performance, which means the flat bottom of the wing might not look the way you want it to look, right? Or maybe put dihedral in a wing to bring the wingtips, the lead out position to where you actually want to have it in a normal.
Yeah, I could. I'm just looking at the ribs. They're all, I think, from looking at the plan, I don't think there's any, you know, decrease in the width of the rib at all. So
no, I'm not talking about a dihedral, so the wing is not straight, the wing is like that.
No,
right?
no, I know, but you can actually get that impression, Tryon, by keeping the top spar dead flat and bringing your bottom spar up slightly. You can actually, you know, fiddle around with it that way. So your wing is actually tapering, but it gives the impression of it having dihedral, but it's not. It's actually flat on top. But anyway, I'll see.
Okay.
I've got a bit of thinking through to do on it yet.
Yeah,
it's still sort of in the messing around stage, you know. Yeah,
decide what you want to compromise. You know, it's like I don't want to compromise this, but if I don't want to compromise this, then I have to do this, right?
Yeah.
And it's all a balance. You either get the whole wing, make it straight and move it up, and then it's very stuntish, and keep the profile of fuselage correct and stuff like that, proportions and all that good stuff, right? So it's going to still look like a Hurricane very much, right?
Yes.
Or you go the other direction, you know, it's like, or you put give it more scalish, but then you might have to get your wings up in a little bit of dihedral, so your lead outs are going to fall in the correct position. Otherwise, you know, it's going to fly silly. If you have dihedral, but you have a straight wing, it's going to fly just fine.
Have you seen mine, Jonathan? My Vico Hurricane that I had?
Your Hurricane? No.
See if I can pull it up here.
And then John Miller will be next. He has a comment.
There you go.
Oh, very nice, Mark.
That was a really good
one.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was a really good flare.
That's nice.
The Super Tiger 46.
Yeah, and you had dihedral in it. And so it had that more scale look.
Now, whose design is that? Is that Jack Sheik's?
No, that's Palmer's.
That's Palmer's. So that's a Brodak kit too, isn't it? And it comes in a kit.
Well, the Brodak kit doesn't have dihedral.
No.
And I built the first one of these exactly like the kit. And it turned out the wingtip was too high. And so it flew with the outboard wing down. And I crashed that one. I built a second one, which is this one here. And I lowered the wing about 1/4 of an inch in the fuselage. And that came out just about right. And this was a really good flyer. Tom Dixon said it has the same numbers as a Kieske Nobler. I haven't checked to verify that.
Yeah. It's got a nice long nose on it. What have you got in that, a 40 or a 40?
It's a Super Tiger 46 is what I flew in this.
Oh, yeah, that'll go good. And is that about a 52 inch?
I think it's 54, I believe.
Okay. And the undercarriage, is that coming out of the wing on that thing? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably what I'll do with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Hurricane. It didn't have landing gear that looks like on a Nobler.
No.
That's one place I would not compromise.
I built two tails for this one because the first one I got done, I looked at it and I said, the first time I fly in grass and I flip this thing over, it's going to crunch that tail right down. So I rebuilt the tail with a thicker balsa wood, stronger, and it did flip several times. It's never been a problem.
So that's a solid tail.
No, it's open, but it uses thicker wood than you have in the kit.
Okay.
You can build a tail like this with a flat sheet of balsa that has the shape, and build ribs on top of that flat sheet of balsa. May want to reinforce it somewhat a little bit, but there should be, if you put the grain in the right direction, maybe the flat sheet of balsa has grain on the leading edge and trailing edge in this direction, and the rest across, just
Anyway,
change the grain in the direction which
I
you
keep
need to
thinking
have.
I should build another one, but I haven't quite got around to it yet.
Yeah, you've done a nice job of that. I like the detail around the cockpit and the I always think the RAF colouring on the fuselage and lettering and stuff always looked quite neat. It always looked crisp.
Yeah, I had a book of all the different Hurricane color schemes and paint setups and everything, and this is the one I picked sort of to mimic. The colors came out a little more vivid than the actual camouflage, but that's okay for stunt work.
It's not actually the naval colouring, is it? They did mess
No,
around.
this is the what do they call it? The modern or the European scheme that they used later in the war with the. This is supposed to be a blue-gray, and this is a dark green.
There's a guy who's just been honoured, a New Zealander, Sir Keith Park, and he was one of the strategists during the Battle of Britain. He had his own Hurricane, and there's we got a statue to him in town.
I didn't realize he was a New Zealander. I thought he was a Brit. Okay.
Yeah, he was a Kiwi.
So Tom McLean keeps telling me I need to build that and copy that plane that he had.
Who did?
Tom McLean tells me the next Hurricane I build should have Parks markings on it. I think he had one single number here or something. It was the Battle of Britain scheme with the brown and the green rather than the dark gray.
What an earthy brown.
Yeah.
They looked at doing this for a naval version too, but they didn't make it up. Yes, they did make it operational. They fired them off catapults and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On some of the freighters, but I don't think they put it on an aircraft carrier at all. I don't think
they used them. They used them on the maritime shipping, and they, like you said, they fired them on catapults, and they did their job, and then they ditched them.
Yeah,
they were sacrificial.
Yeah, they were just to give air support to the merchants.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan, a couple little things I'd like to suggest. You've got some good suggestions already from Mark and Tran, and I'd like to add a few more. Years ago, I was talking with my friend Bob Gialdini, and he explained to me something about finding the vertical CG. And if you can find the vertical CG or get close to it, you know at what level your lead outs need to come out to avoid a lot of trim issues with the plane wanting to, whether too high or too low, tilt this way or tilt that way. You don't want that.
Yes.
And it was a tricky little thing, but he claimed it actually worked. He says there's all kinds of math you can use to get to the solution, but the quick and easy way is you trace out in a small outline of to the exact proportion as you can get them. A small outline, you cut it out, then you take a pin or a nail in a board sticking up, and you move it around until you find where it balances. Now you got the landing gear and the wheels, everything's there. Just where it balances will be very, very close to the vertical center of gravity.
Only if you're extremely lucky.
Well, you got to be lucky and you got to work at it. Yes, you're right. But it's better than saying, oh, maybe it's right there. You know, if you can get to that, find that, I'd highly recommend you use Tran's idea of putting a little dihedral in it, because your design will look more scale than semi-scale, but it'll fly better as a stunter and it'll look better. I mean, it'll fly just as good. The point I'm trying to make is it'll look better, it'll fly better, and you'll enjoy it a whole lot more. And you're probably only gonna have to take like less than an inch on each tip, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vico has 5/8 of an inch of dihedral on each tip.
I've got a smaller Hurricane. I actually have a smaller one, which I built a couple of years ago, and it flies very well too, and it's got dihedral in it. And I had to, struggle with some of those issues you were just talking about, John. But it flies straight, and it's got good trim. But I think Keith Trossel was talking about it a few months back. Somebody brought it up about dihedral, and I said that I made some comment about the wingtip would have to be, your wingtip might be up a little bit or down a little bit or something. He seemed to think it wouldn't make any difference, but I think it does myself. That was the experience I had. So yeah, there's lots of little issues. That's what I love about this whole thing, of course. You're always thinking, you're always problem solving. There's always little issues you're struggling with, trying to fix and trying to improve. It's great.
Well, that's part of what keeps us all going in this, is trying to work with those little issues.
Right.
Anyway, Jonathan, I have plans for mine. I'll email them to you for what they're worth.
Okay.
Another effect dihedral is if you have a low wing airplane, it will have zero dihedral effect if you have some positive dihedral. Namely, a low wing airplane inherently has a negative dihedral effect from the wind from the side blowing over the fuselage, up over one wing and down the other wing. So which kind of works out nicely for the lead up position too. So
yeah,
and if you have a high wing airplane, negative dihedral. So
yeah, that'll have a variable lead out as well, adjustable lead out.
Well, your project's looking good. You're working on it. It looks like you got a good start. I hope all goes well and you're soon cutting wood. Of course, it's getting to be your flying season there now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll let you know how it comes along. But
please do.
I'd be interested in seeing those plans, Mark.
Yeah, I think
so I'll send you my email. I'll send you my email.
Yeah, please do. If you can find my name on Stunthangar or someplace.
Yeah, I'll send you a personal message.
Great.
Great.
Well, let me go to Tryon. Tryon, you have a drawing of the.
I would just want to show you that site and the ideas. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So, long story short, I'm gonna do a share screen. But the first thing that you need to do is like put your plane on a disassemble wherever on top of the table or something like that, and start to decide what kind of a overall size you need. Right? You might want to pack 2-3 planes, or you might want to pack one plane. It all depends on what you want to achieve, right? Then you need to think about like other details, right? I'm gonna go with it in an airplane. I might want to put some wheels on it so I can just drag it like a carry-on case behind me as I go inside the building or whatever, right? That's one of the things I consider on mine. So I ended up putting some casters, actually 2 casters on the back of the box and the handle was positioned so that actually instead of being on the top of the box, it was on the bottom of the box. So when I grab it, I could just pull it behind me and I could clear my feet and stuff like that. So it would be comfortable to carry around, right? Then you might want to consider, hey, what do I want to put in this box, right? Do I want to put batteries? Do I want to put whole lines, cables, tools that I may need though when I get to the destination, stuff like that. So you need to consider that space for that. So you have to make a plan of what do you want to have. So it starts over there, and that's going to give you some overall sizes. The box is going to be this wide, this tall. The cap is going to be this thick. The bottom is going to be this thick. So you just imagine two boxes on top of each other. They're going to open up, stuff like that, right?
Right.
And with that in mind, let me see. Okay, so my site is open right now, and here we go. I'm going to share a screen here, and I'm going to go to this site, share. Okay, are you guys with me?
I'm with you.
All right. So let me go here. So this is the site basically, and you can start with laminates. So these are just some plastic ABS pieces that you can, different colors, obviously. You can pick whatever color you want to have. And this is going to be laminated on the top of your box, right? You have a plywood that's going to be laminated with this ABS piece on top of it. That's what gives it strength, durability, wear. I mean, it's like if you make a box like this, you don't make it for a year. You probably use it for forever, right?
Right.
It's just almost like a commitment, like making a suitcase. They're going to last you for a long, long time, right? So, anyways, so you can pick up your collar. So you can start here, just pick up a collar, and this is going to be glued on top of your plywood, and the plywood is going to make the size of your case.
Right.
Speaking of cases, this is how they look like. Okay, if you see on the picture on the back side,
I see that.
and they have videos on how to do everything. Okay, then you have the aluminum extrusions, right? So if you can imagine this, for example, a double extrusion here. This is what you put in the corner of the case. So they go like this. So you put the plywood in one side and one on the other side that comes from the other direction, making and this is what creates the edge of your box.
I follow you.
Okay. And so you put the plywood inside, you take a drill and drill holes through everything at one time and put rivets through them and pop using pop rivets, right? So this thing is very, very strong, right?
Right, right.
So you have all kind of extrusions here. These are the corners, and you also have some specialized stuff here if you want to do, a splice or something like that. Also in an aluminum extrusion, you have this thing here, okay? So actually, this is a one two-piece thing. It breaks off in two different components, but it's a tongue and groove. So when a box folds over, it folds over like that in a tongue and groove kind of setup, right?
All right.
And obviously, this is broken in two pieces. One goes on the bottom, the other one goes on the top. So you don't have a situation where you go flat on flat, but you go kind of like that, right? And then the top and the bottom of the boxes, they will match very nicely. And when it closes, they don't slip. They don't, it makes for a very, very rigid box. Okay. So you get the plywood, you get the ABS, you get this, and with this, you can pretty much have the whole frame of the box. After that, you can start work on your box, and you can start add corners like this. This is an example. You put these corners, and they cover the, because extrusions don't go all the way to the top, right?
Right.
There's a little hole over there, but when you put this ball on top of it, it brings everything together and looks pretty nice. lots of videos here. You have lots of videos on how to do everything, how to pick your components, how to do everything, right? You have you know, everything. It's like let's say you want to go black. We have clamps here. This is what goes in the corner of the box, right? You can have different corners, right?
Right.
To make your box. You have handles, and all kind of handles, hinges. So you can even have everything. It's either black or silver, right? So choose whatever you have over there, right? Then what I used on mine, actually, I use this. Basically, I use the extrusions that I showed you, right?
Okay.
Okay, and then as locks, the locks I use. Well, let me see if I can find here latches. Right here. So I've used this type of a latch.
Okay.
And I'm sure you probably all of you have seen this kind of stuff on like cases, professional cases. Like,
yes,
I mean, this is professional grade stuff, right?
Right, I've seen it. Yeah.
So this is the latch that it goes in, it grips, and you rotate it, and you just flip it over, and it lays flat, and it's not gonna, it sits flat, right?
Right. You're not going to trip it on accident because it's flush.
Exactly. Yeah. It's built for that, and it's spring loaded. It's just heavy duty stuff, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So basically, what I had two of these guys, and on mine in particular, I just I chose to put some disc caster in the corner, which is basically like a carry-on.
Yeah, looks very familiar.
Yeah, it's like a carry-on baggage, right? So on my lower corners, I have two wheels on the backside. So I grab the I grab by the handle, and that's it. Let's see, handles.
That is very cool.
So everything is here, but the biggest job is to decide what you want to do, and then you have to decide. Hey, I need this much of this much of that, this much of that.
So the one that you made, it carries your plane and some other stuff. The one that you actually made.
The one I made is capable of carrying 3 revolutions inside, handle, lines, all the hardware, everything I need to do with the flying, and then some. And all 3 planes weigh about 23 kilograms, which is a maximum, which is within the range of what I can carry on a plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see your case sometime, and maybe not tonight, but I'd like to see it.
It's in the attic, and I have the car in the garage, and then
sometime. I mean, not tonight, but I'd be interested in seeing it. I'd be very interested in seeing it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm just, let me see. Maybe I can find just give me a second.
Okay. Hey, Sparky, before you take off, there was a comment in the chat box. Hey, people would like to know, what do you think about the Magnum, how it flies? So when you get a chance, I'd like for you to share, as I'm curious myself, because I've always had a curiosity about the Magnum. I've never built one, but I've come across opportunities to buy one, buy a kit.
It flies exactly as I remember in the 90s. It's got that steel fuel tank, and just, I got to retrim. It's way too nose heavy.
All right.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing for me.
Let me get back to trying. I just didn't want you to go away before I get a chance for you to share with us, Sparky. Let's go ahead.
So here's ideas of things that you can achieve with this stuff, right?
I see. Yeah, I thought that's what we was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, something like this. So you can see the 90-degree corners over here. You can see the latches over there. You can see some of that, the reinforcements that they put in the corners where
Right.
the two covers come together. Obviously, handles, you can put them handles anywhere, any type of handle you choose to have. Wheels, you can see the balls on the bottom, and actually they're on the corners too. And
That is
this
very
is
interesting website. I'm going to come back and visit that website and watch some of the videos. So thank you very much.
okay.
I really appreciate that. That was really good.
Okay.
Let me catch up on the chat. Oh, hang on. Gordon, what Gordon?
I got a problem. I need to find some segment glue. Is anybody out there willing to sell a large tube or 2 small tubes? I need it to put my fillets in. I can't find any.
You couldn't find any Duco?
Let me see if I can, if I still got some. If I do, I'll send it to you because I don't use it.
Yeah, I checked with SIG and I checked out a couple places and they're all sold out.
Duco cement, you ought to be able to find that somewhere. Hardware store used to carry it.
Duco is very similar to Sigmund, Gordon.
Pardon?
That Duco cement is very similar to Sigmund.
Yeah. I couldn't find any of that around here either.
Okay.
Now, let me look. I'll let you know something Monday night.
Had some segment. It'd sure be nice. I put my fillets in. I'll be happy to pay for it.
Oh, phooey. I got it. You got it. But I'll let you know something Monday night.
Okay, thank you.
I'll check. I might still have some Ambroid.
Where did you get it?
Oh,
That smells good.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do my fillets with till they quit making it.
I'll check and see what I got and let you know on Monday.
I got a phone, John.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I can let you.
Well, I'll call John. I've got it. I'll call John tomorrow. He can call you.
Are you putting in leather fillets, Gordy?
Leather fillets, right.
I got some around here. I'll send to you. Not segment, but I got some leather fillets somewhere. I don't use them.
Well, I got leather fillets. I just don't have Ambroid or segment to glue them in.
Yeah. I got a little bottle of Ambroid that I open up on the bench once in a while. So I get that smell, but it ain't enough to do the job.
All right, guys, let me catch up on the chat box. Let me see here. Dennis Adamison, he said, like provided, sorry, cannot join in tonight, heading to Detroit contest in the morning. I guess that's where he's going to see Lynn Burrell. And he says, have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday. Thank you, Dennis. And Tom Rammel, he provided us with a like. Thank you, Tom. And Edward Carlisle, he provided us with a like. Thank you, Edward. And then Terry Mitchell, he said, like sent and great to see everyone. Thank you, Terry. And he went on to say, hey, Sparky, tell us how the Magnum flew. And did you want to continue on about that, about the Magnum, Sparky?
The Magnum is straight. It flies like a 90s airplane. I don't know how to explain it. They're very lunky, I think. So in order for me to, it's 62 ounces. In order for me to change it, I need to retrim it and make it tail heavy, I guess.
All right, thank you, Sparky. And I see your hand raised digitally, Mark, just a moment. And then Philip Bailey, he gave us a like, and thank you for coming in, Philip. And also thank you, Carl. Thank you for coming in, appreciate it. And then Terry Mitchell said, thought this was a Stunthangar. Don't want to listen about box and then ... boring. Well, we can't please everybody. I thought it was interesting myself to try and. So not everyone. Matter of fact, I had someone. So I've been sending emails out to some people to invite them to come in, and I've had one person, I'm not going to name, but he's told me to stop sending them the emails. So this is not for everybody, obviously, but I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. Jim Hoffman, he says, I have Sigmund. I am on travel for a week though. So that's a possibility too. If Philip can't find the Sigmund, Jim Hoffman might be a source, Gordon. And I'm hoping to see Jim Hoffman next weekend. He's in town to visit his dad. And but I hope to hook up with him and fly next Saturday, not tomorrow, but the next week. And then Terry Forbes, he says, I use my Android for sniffing only.
That's basically what I do with it. Same with the Aerogloss dope I got. I open the can once in a while just so I can smell that old smell.
Absolutely. I miss that old smell. And Mark Gerber, he had his hand digitally raised. Thank you, Mark. Go ahead.
I got one more hurricane here, like when we're doing hurricanes.
Okay.
You see that?
Not yet.
Oh,
Hey, Lynn Burrell, wake up, Lynn.
there we go.
Dennis is going to be flying into the contest tomorrow. You'll see Dennis out of missing.
There we go.
Well, look at that. That's a scale.
Oh, that's nice.
This was built by a guy in Italy. I got this from Gordon Van Tighem up in Yellowknife, who may be evacuated by now, but
wow.
Gordon's a big hurricane fan. He's built several. And he said
this scale.
This is an Al Raby type semi-scale stunt ship. You see the
Well,
flaps?
it definitely has a dihedral in the wing.
Definitely. Yeah, you can see the dihedral. Here's the plans that are in the magazine article. It's all in Italian, so. But you can see here's the dihedral in the wing. And
Didn't Wendy Anowski built a Hawker?
I don't think so. I remember her. I don't know that Wendy ever built a Hurricane, but this to me is the Al Raby
built a bunch of Spitfires.
Style Hurricane.
Spitfire and Seafire.
This is about the best one I think I've ever seen.
Oh, that is nice.
I don't know who this guy, Volo Vincolato Sicilia.
Does he mention what engine he's got in it?
I think it's a Super Tiger 60, but I'm not. I was trying to read the article because it's in Italian, and I took Latin one time.
Got quite a short nose, of course, because it's scale.
I can send this to you as well.
Yeah,
that's pretty scale.
Yeah, it's pretty much spot on for scale.
It's this Italian magazine. Is anybody familiar with this?
Volo Vincolato is the name of the magazine or the publication.
Oh yeah,
His name.
It's not the guy's name. It's
if you go back to the original picture.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Chucker Special in there.
There's a lot of nice airplanes in here.
Back that one up. That was it. That one in the blue camouflage. That was at Tucson. It looked like.
I don't recall any of these pictures being from Tucson, but
that was Tucson, I think. That
the whole magazine is in Italian, so
I know, but they might have gone to Tucson and taken a picture. Keep going back. You
mean up?
Yeah, keep going up. There.
That is Tucson.
That is Tucson.
I reckon.
No, I don't think so. There's an Italian sign back there.
That looks like our old hotel.
No, this fence was.
Sure looks like.
They didn't have this fence at the roadway. This is not the roadway.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you there, Mark.
You know what? So easy way to make that fuselage look super scale and make it quick and dirty. Just mold the two sides completely, because that's a shape that's very easily moldable.
It looked like from the plans that he planked it.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that. You can do
I know.
mold and
That's what Keith Trossel did with his Bearcat. Was he planked it? You can see here.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is to me is the premier Hurricane that I've ever seen.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It is nice.
I like very nice.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thanks.
Right now we have 24 concurrent viewers, 21 likes. Please consider giving us a super chat and subscribing, and also joining our Stunthangar YouTube channel memberships. So, what you been up to, Phil?
Not much anything, just little things keep happening, having to go run here, run there and do things this week. I got the SV still on the cart back here. I've got all my electronics out of it and in the other room to try to hook up and test and see what works and what doesn't, but I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I did get a new Nasty Donkey ESC in today, that and a new motor. I got a 3515 5. I forgot 5 what. I like this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on my flight box. Let's see, 3515 580. Like everything made in China. But anyway.
It's good for success.
Yeah. But the ESC amazingly looks exactly like another brand that I had at the hobby, picked up at the hobby shop for cheap. So, I mean, they're only like $35 anyway. And I'd had a long talk with a guy at Nasty Donkey, and he said that try it and see what you think. So that's what I'm going to do. Just give it a shot and see what happens. Might work, might not. I don't know. But I mean, $35 against 109 or 19 or whatever the heck it is. I can't remember. But I can't say I burned them up. Howard sent me a text that said that one of the pins might be bad and I might not be making contact. That's entirely possible. So I've got to check that now. So anyway, I'll try to do that tomorrow or tomorrow night maybe. And because we're going flying in the morning. Not the 11, unfortunately, but we're going flying in the morning. And we'll see what we can get into.
All right. So how are you holding up your SV11? Is that an ironing board? What is that?
No, that's a stand made just for airplanes. It's I found that at the hobby shop and picked it up. They're not cheap, but they're handy, so I just picked it up. I'll get the name of it. I don't think I still have the box, but I'll get the name of it and tell you Monday night what it is. But you just turn that knob right there in the middle and on the back side of that. And you turn that out, and then you can collapse it. It just lays right against itself, and then you turn it and open it up. And then it's got little teeth that fit together like that, and you tighten it down, and it stays put. It's been there for over a week.
Or do you take that to the field with you?
I take it to the field with me. That's what I bought it for. I got a bad back. I can't bend over these things anymore. I just can't do it.
I'm with
you.
Sparky, didn't you have one of those at Brodex?
Yeah, it's a piano stand.
Yeah.
His is a piano stand, but if you look, mine's bent up the side and it comes up and then over. And if you take the airplane and slide it all the way up against that foam, then it doesn't rock. It stays put real nice.
That is
but I on the other side over there, I'll show you how it works Monday night. I have a piece of string that's laid over one of those legs, and then you just pull it up under the wing to keep the wing where you want it, wrap it around the other leg, and pull the string down under the other one like you tie a trout fly. I've gotten into doing that, so I figured out how to do that. And it stays put. It's been, like I said, it's been there for over a week. And I'm not too proud of that, but just haven't had a chance to work on it. My wife's not too proud of it either. Vicky says hi, by the way, Charles.
Hi, Vicky. Tell Vicky I said hi.
I will. Charles said hi, Vic. She says, thank you and bye-bye. She's in the other room, but she heard me. I got these things in, so she couldn't hear till I said something.
No problem.
But anyway, it seems to work real neat so far. I took it to the field, and the only complaint that anybody came up with, one of the guys says, you need to put some extensions. Where is it? On the feet down here.
On the base? Okay.
Yeah, on the base, so it won't tip over in the wind.
Okay,
well, that's no problem. I just came up with 2 pieces of PVC to stick over it, and it's not going anywhere. I took that and then put a little bit of Velcro on either one of them and put a piece across where they won't blow off. It's not going anywhere. It was easy to fix. It was a very easy fix. So, I mean, they're not cheap, but they don't have everything figured out yet. But anyway, it is, it's the neatest creation I've seen. It weighs nothing. Hey, what you got there? What are you showing us there?
Let me make Jonathan Carrada's big. 1 second.
I'll see if I can find my own photo here.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's the hurricane I was talking about before.
Nice.
Sorry to interrupt you, Phil. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's got a Fox 19 in it, and
Oh, my
I
goodness.
had to silence it myself. Made my own silencer for it. It was actually some other aircraft. The fuselage was given to me, and I could see a hurricane in it. I don't know what it was.
Very, very nice.
You know, honestly, the best wood carver that I know, I asked him how he picked out which piece of wood to carve. And he says he's walking through the woods and he saw this piece of wood laying there and he just saw a whale in it. So he cut out everything that didn't look like a whale and voila, sperm whale.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, if we did that, we'd be arrested. I'll show you my Spitfire too when I find it.
Oh, you found some ambroid, John.
Well, the good and bad news. Yes, I did. I've got a partial too, but everything in there is hard as a rock.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the problem. When you find ambroid, it's usually so old just because of time.
Yeah, but it might be possible because I think it was acetone that was the reacting there.
Oh yeah.
Might be able to, since it's in there, you might be able to open it up and reconstitute it. So, Gordy, it's yours if you want it. You can do whatever you want with it.
Let me run downstairs right quick and see if I've got that. If I've got it, I've got a box that all my glue's in. My back's not doing real good, so I'm not crazy about running downstairs, but I will. I'll be back in a minute.
Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that.
John, did I tell you I run the new Stalker?
No.
Oh, that thing swings 11.5 faster than the LA 46.
Wow.
And it's even stronger than your old one, the rear exhaust.
Yeah.
It's even stronger than that one.
Wow.
Which motor is this, Gordon? Is stock or what?
Stalker 51 side exhaust.
Okay.
Now it's kind of funny. John let me borrow his side exhaust while I was building this Pathfinder, and he let me take the head off, and I took the head off mine, and I took the head off the rear exhaust that Bart had. Well, John only had 10,000 edge clearance, and Bart's rear exhaust one had 27 thousandths, and my new one had 53 thousandths. And all three of them had the same head, the very wide squish band. But John is definitely set up for FEI fuel. You know,
and that's good because that's what I run.
Yeah, and if I ran it, I'd probably have to take a whole bunch of shims out of it. You know, because 58,000 or 55,000, 53 thousandths is way too much of a head gap for FEI fuel.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Stalker was kind of going more and more towards people that in the U.S. that was running nitro, and just kind of go with the flow.
Well, it sure did run good. Oh, what a sweetheart!
Well, I'm so glad to hear that.
So am I.
At least something went right for you.
Yeah.
I have a question for Mark Gerber by Terry Mitchell in the chat box. He says, hey, Mark Gerber, what are you going to build next? Can you top that Bearcat?
Probably not. I'm working on a Parrot P47 right now that I actually started before I started on the Bearcat. And after I get the SD11 put together in a few weeks, I'll go back to the P47 and finish that. So after that, I'm not sure.
That Italian fighter, what was the name of it? You know which one I mean?
The Hurricane?
No, the Italian fighter. World War II fighter the Italians flew.
Oh, I don't remember what. I've never been a big fan of the Italian planes, but
Well, I think it was a Castoli or something like that. If Arnaldo was on here, being from Italy, he'd be able to tell me exactly what.
Yeah.
I always want to do that. It has the same, from what I understand, it has the same engine package and setup as the ME 109.
It's the Monte Castoli MC72.
Thank you very much. Exactly right. But I think it'd be a great semi-scale stunner, that one that hasn't been done by Americans very much at all. And there might be a reason.
Yeah, John Penny here in Colorado, who's a member of our club. He was a pilot on the Rare Bear in some of the races in
really?
Reno. Yeah. And he keeps wanting me to make a Bearcat and paint it up like the Rare Bear. But if you've ever seen the Rare Bear paint scheme, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
I told him I thought it would take me a year to paint it.
But two guys from around here have made Rare Bear Bearcats. Alan Ressinger in Vancouver and Mike here.
Oh.
And John Penny came out to the field one time. I didn't know who it was. He'd been flying Paul Allen's airplanes. And he came out to the field and said he flew stunt. That's about. Another tidbit is Lyle Shelton's son lives down the road from me. He stopped by one time when I was flying. So I was hoping those guys bring their Bearcats over and I could show him too.
Lyle Shelton. Well, that's a name brings back some memories.
Yeah, I have a picture of Alan Reslinger's Bearcat, Rare Bear, but I don't think I could find it handy to share it, unfortunately.
I like to see that. Alan makes nice airplanes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he actually had built it one time and finished it, but wasn't happy with the finish for some reason, and then he stripped it down and redid it again. And I saw the finished product. It was at the Golden State Stunt Championship where I saw it.
We all a minute ago. We all by any chance talking about the Machi 202, the Italian plane.
Well, there were several that they made. I was thinking
that thing's got a spinner that just tapers out like a torpedo and comes down real small in the back. Really pretty airplane. I didn't find the segment, Gordy. I'll have to keep looking, but I did find a tube of ambroid, and it's still squishy.
Oh,
wow!
How much?
That'll help you. Oh, send me your address. Send me a PM with your address. Quit talking to me about money. Just send me your address. I'll send it to you. It's just in the way downstairs. I haven't used that stuff in 20 years.
I haven't had a tube in 20 years. Well, maybe 10.
I've had this one at least that long, but I'll never use it. It'll just sit down there and go bad.
Yeah, it'll turn up like this.
Yeah, well, if you can use it, I'll be happy to send it to you. Because I don't use it. I every time I open a tube of that, I get a headache to beat the band last 2 days, and I just don't do it.
You got a pen and paper handy, Phil?
Yeah, I do. Hang on just a minute.
Send it on a PM.
You can PM him right inside here, Gordy. Just go down
do
the chat box. See the chat in the middle and the bottom? And then you can make it personal to Phil.
Yeah, do that. That'd be easier. And then not everybody in the world get your address.
You know it's gone when you can't get any smell off of it.
Well, I could put it right up under my nose and I wouldn't smell it, but I'd get a god awful headache just the same. I can't smell.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to send a PM.
So
I tell you what.
Just do it the way he wants to do it.
Can I just
tell you? Go ahead, Gordon.
It's 2523 West.
2523 West.
Yep, 650 North. Layton, Utah.
Okay.
84041.
2523 West, 650 North, Layton, Utah, 84041.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you kindly, Phil. Sure.
You're more than welcome. I'll send it out. I'll try to get it out to you tomorrow.
That'd be
Probably go out Monday, but anyway,
yeah, that'd be wonderful.
we'll get it.
Rare as that is, maybe you better put some insurance on it, Gordy.
The postal
Lord.
carrier might want to open it up and take a whiff of it.
Yeah.
Lord.
$100 worth of insurance.
Well, if I send to UPS, it'll have that anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Terry Mitchell typed in the text, cool, now we can stalk Gordon.
Oh, Lord. All righty.
Let me give Carl a chance. Hey, Carl, what you been up to, Carl? Carl Reed, I know your microphone might be questionable. Let's see. That's okay, Carl. You can't get it. I know you said you had a problem with the microphone. No biggie. We can talk on the phone. And just so you know, I texted you earlier about meeting Jim Hoffman next Thursday. There's been a change of plans. So Jim Hoffman can fly Saturday. That's next Saturday. So if you can make that, that'd be great. I need to secure the field. And I know that you get out there early and you have cones yourself. So if that's possible, that'd be great. So I really like to facilitate us flying with Jim Hoffman. I don't get a chance to fly with too many expert pilots, so
Jim's a really good one.
Yeah, and he's a good builder, good person, and
He is a good person.
Very good person.
Yeah.
The only time you hate to see Jim is at a contest.
Yeah, Jim Hoffman is a tough judge, but you know what? He will give you a good score if you deserve it too.
I'm talking about as a competitor.
Oh, as a competitor, okay.
I've never been in front of him with him judging, but I have flown against him, and he's tough.
Yeah,
I thought I put up a pretty good flight, and then he put his flight up. And I was ready to put my airplane back in the box. It was bad.
Yeah. Jim Hoffman's a really good guy.
Gordy,
He is.
and you might want to consider a 3-bladed 11-inch prop.
What about it?
You might want to consider a 3-bladed prop.
That
to,
was a 3-bladed prop.
Holy smoke.
That was 11-inch 11.5 3-blade.
Goodness.
Folks.
And then
Sucker's got some power.
Cycle, it was turning 10.5.
Wow. The 51 has got more power than most people believe. But that rear exhaust one in my Pathfinder LE handled that airplane with no problem.
That was that a 40?
No, the 40.
LE. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you ran a 51 in your LE for a while.
Yeah, that was your engine.
Yeah. Now it's Bart's engine.
Now it's Bart's engine. But I was surprised the difference in head clearance between the 3 motors.
Well, I think it's probably, those are built over space of several 10, 12 years or more.
15 or 20 probably.
And so, there's various points in the evolution of the engine. They're always trying to build to the marketplace and build to the performance.
Well, it sure didn't mind that 50. Well, actually, I put a head gasket in mine because I didn't know what yours and the other one had. So I added one. So I was actually around 58 thousandths on mine.
Wow.
but it came stock with 53.
How much nitro do you have in there?
10%,
1022?
11.
The only change I'd make is I'd go down to about maybe 3.5, 4% on the caster and leave the rest of the synthetic. I personally, I'd run no caster at all. But
Well, caster helps cool the motor though, John.
well, yeah, but you got it hanging out in the breeze where there's no, and I've never had one of them overheat on me.
Well, neither have I.
Yeah. Let me welcome Stephen McBride. Thank you for coming in, Stephen. And Carl, I see you got your mic unmuted. Does your mic work now, Carl?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No, I haven't been up much. Doing a lot of family stuff.
Okay.
Helping out my daughter and grandkids, running errands stuff. Getting back to a schedule. To mind that they're having playoffs, softball and baseball, and Powerball and stuff. So it might be crowded on that Saturday. So you might want to keep that in the back of your head.
Oh, I know. I drove by the Saturday last week and there was no one out there. So I'm gonna try to I might fly tomorrow just to try it out on Saturday. If Joe Mata and I can get out there.
Yeah.
I might fly tomorrow before the storm comes in. Cool. Let me get to Stephen. Hey Stephen, what's been going on with you?
The storm right now. Yeah. We got weather in the storm. Other than that, it's been a good week. Looking to go and flying this weekend. If the weather does break, I want to definitely get out there. And planning on seeing if I make the trip for the meet and meet in September.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. That'd be nice. I've never been there. I get the flyer every year. I'd like to go there. I've never been up there to Napa. And
went up there once already. Trying to think about it and planning on going out there.
Yeah, you might run into Dennis Nunez. I think he usually makes that trip.
Yeah, he runs up there. He runs up there. They usually stay that's Jim Aaron runs that, and he runs a good meet.
Yeah,
he runs a good event.
I bet. Well, his dad was in the hobby too, so I think that that's kind of something he was passed on to him from his father.
Sure.
And Tryon has his hand raised. Go ahead, Tryon.
I just want to show you something.
All right.
Some progress.
Sounds good. Let me make it big.
Ooh.
Yeah, you are making progress. I see you got that graphic that you talked about. You got the graphic on there near the nose. That's cool. Yeah, very nice.
I'm changing it to a dragon. But
very nice.
But in the past, I didn't have this yellow here or the one on the nose. So I thought it was kind of missing something, right? Because it was unbalanced. But just by having the stuff here on the back and on the tail, it was kind of missing something. So because I have so much of this other color here, I said, I don't like it. So I decided to overpower the yellow a little bit.
Now, did you modify the nose a little bit on that vector? It looks a little bit different than what the vectors I've seen. I mean, the silhouette, the side, I mean,
that's his trim line. It's his trim line that makes that look different.
Yeah, from the nose ring back, that's how it normally is. It looks the same as a stock one or different. Did you modify it all, Tryon?
Yeah, I mean everything that's from here back it's pretty much changed because first of all I decided to have a side hatch for the battery, so I had to change everything in here. Then the motor that's resting here was supposed to come through the hatch, through a hole in here, up and over to get in position. So, and I also have the nose ring here.
That looks really nice. I like the modification you made. It looks nice. Looks really good.
Yep. So this is what it is right now.
That looks good. That looks really good.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Like I didn't have this yellow here or whatever on the back of the canopy. So, but if you take this out, see, for example, this. You see right now how it's like it's kind of like it's missing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, if you add it here, it comes together.
Now you're gonna fly this at the Romanian team trials?
No.
No?
No, I can't put this in a plane.
Okay.
It will be hard to transport. I'll have to make a special box just for it.
Yeah. Okay. Understood.
No,
It looks
it's
good.
just-
Looks good enough to do it.
Yeah, I mean, just I would just fly the Revolution then if I go to Romania Nats and
You have to step back to that inferior airplane, right?
yeah, I know that's the crappy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody likes it anyway, so
That's right.
yeah. When I fly it, it's just
They all turn away.
terrible thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just torque everybody off when they see that Evolution fly, huh?
Yeah, I saw the picture of the dog that had his leg hiked up there. They were trying to shoo him away over there. I imagine they got him away, but you know.
Yeah. No, I just but you know, I absolutely love that plane in the air. I mean, just when I go fly it, it's just an absolute joy in the air.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
can tell.
just-
We can tell watching you fly. You're having a good time out there.
Yeah. Somebody said that they were watching me like from here down. I was like a big smile, and from here up, I was just super serious. It's just like just total focus and just boom,
Yeah.
hit it. Yeah, it's a sweetheart in the air. I mean, just like it's stupid easy to fly.
That's what we want. Stupid
Yeah.
easy plane to fly.
It's just intuitive, easy to fly. Tracks nicely, locks like nothing else. We just turn, stops, locks, and just go just like that.
Don't
It's
you love it?
effortless.
Don't you love it? You
Yeah.
know, one of the guys that I've watched fly for years, and I've always wished I could get as into focus as he does. I mean, he holds his left hand right up here like he's clutching his heart, and his other hand is right here.
Was that Brett Buck?
No, Gordon Delaney.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you,
And
John.
he flies around like this, holding on to his heart. I don't know whether he's planning on a heart attack or what, but he has that handle right on his center line of his body, and he flies everything off of that center line. Now he'd probably fall down like me. He'd probably fall down trying to do it now.
I can't even stand up for 10 laps, John.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gotta be frustrating.
Yeah.
it's hell to grow old.
Yeah, it's not for wimps.
But this chair will work real good. I can lean right back and straight overhead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but doesn't it's hard to back up on grass.
Well, I have to plan not to have to back up.
So speaking of, you know, this is my offer to all of you. If you ever see me at a contest somewhere and then you fly with me and I have my plane with me, Revolutions, just ask all I have to ask, and I'll let you fly it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome. I hope we cross paths, as I'd love to get a chance to fly it.
Okay, super.
Hey, Sparky, I have a question from the original Steve Smith. He wants to know what grit sandpaper you're using. We saw you sanding on the wing.
He's muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
He'll fix that now that you told him he's muted. Unless he can't get to his laptop, I don't know.
I'm blocking the leading edge down with 36 grit, and I'm coming back with 180 over the top of it. And then I'll go down to 320. I'm shaping the leading edge.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Sparky. Thank you, Steve. I imagine other people are curious about that as well.
Sparky, I have an idea for you if you want to choose to use it.
Okay.
Take some masking tape and put them on the leading edge of the ribs. So that way you are not liable to just dig into them by mistake.
Well, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
They're sticking up so far that it won't matter. I mean,
when you get closer to it and we get closer to the finished sand or something like that, it becomes more and more important. But yeah.
I have a comment from Terry Mitchell. He says, "Hey, John, did you ever find my twin on your Facebook Messenger?"
Who's that from?
Terry Mitchell.
I don't recall. When did he send it?
Terry Mitchell, go ahead and respond. Let us know, when did you send it? And what twin is this? Is that a Pathfinder twin, or is it your own design? What twin is it?
I have a Facebook account, but I don't use it very much.
run by the CIA.
There's more truth to that than people know.
Anyways, let me see here. So Gordon, what was you wearing that mitt for? That mitten on your hand, what was that for?
Oh, I haven't been able to get my fingers working very good the last 2 nights.
Right.
So I've been wearing gloves to try to warm them up so that I can feel. There's something going on with I don't know if it's my diabetes or what, but all the ends of my fingers are numb.
Oh man, so sorry to hear that.
And cold.
That's how I lost this one. Got numb and couldn't feel nothing.
Yep.
All right, well.
So that's why I was trying to get them warmed up.
Yeah, well, get better. Get better.
Get worse before it gets better, Charles. Oh, I'm sorry I missed your call the other day, Charles.
Yeah, let's see, why did I call you?
Probably for that rudder I sent you.
Yeah, probably just to thank you for the rudder that I received it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. I'm glad to help.
Yeah, it's awesome. I appreciate it. I really like it better than a lot of rudders I've seen. So appreciate it.
But now
Terry Mitchell responded, John. He said quite a while ago, and it's a F-82, and he sent it to John A. Miller.
That's me. But I don't recall. I don't recall receiving it. F-82, that's the twin Mustang, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'll check on my account and see if it's there. if it's there, I'll share it next Monday.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You know, I last night I was working hard on my SV11. I put the wheel pants on, and boy, that is a pain in the butt getting those wheel pants on. So you just see one when you're flying it. You know, you want them to be.
Yeah.
And man, I was just wondering if I was doing it the wrong way, but I did get it done. But I understand now why you don't see too many. Besides the additional weight, they're a pain in the butt to put on. I can see why you don't see too many wheel pants.
And if you got fly off grass, that can be another problem.
Well, you know what? It works good on grass.
Was that on carbon gear or wire gear?
It's aluminum. It's aluminum gear.
Fuselage mounted.
Yeah, fuselage mounted.
I know what you mean.
Pain in the butt. I mean, it's just really. I had it mounted last year, but didn't come out right. And I was always so embarrassed when I flew it because if I could see it, I figured other people could see it that they weren't right, you know. So I set up the first one where it's perfect, and then I ended up having 2 screws to hold it so it couldn't move. And you know, that's a difficult operation in itself because of the, you know, you're trying to drill through the flat aluminum, and I have a blind nut that recessed into a piece of wood inside the wheel pants that I believe are plastic or fiberglass. That was just such a major pain in the butt. And but I'm glad it's over. And when I was flying it today, I had a sense of satisfaction flying it, just only able to see one of the wheel pants, not able to see the other one, no matter what I did. So I'm really happy, but that's just my own personal pride of satisfaction of doing it. But I thought, man, what a pain.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Easier way to do that is to cut a slot in the top like this. The landing gear goes inside.
Okay.
One bolt goes in there. Landing gear goes in like that on the
Right.
inside. And then one bolt, that's the axle. So then you can move it. You don't have to have 2 bolts.
That'd be the same for a flat aluminum and wire. Does it matter?
Yeah, you just cut the hole, whatever it takes.
All right. Thank you, Sparky. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
What are you building there, Sparky?
I'm reviving my Viper from 91.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see here. Here's a picture of it right here.
Oh, very
pretty.
nice.
I like that.
Pretty airplane.
Very nice.
I built about 11 of them. The reason why I just got away from them, kind of forgot all about them. I got one hanging on the wall in there, but it was a failed experiment. So I just kind of got away. This is the best flying one. This is number 2. And when Win Paul put me in the book, I said, you know what? It's N30 legal now. We'll build another one and not bring one airplane and fly 2 events.
Right. And you know, I can. It seems like you are really happy and you're proud to build this particular build too, Sparky.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be different. This airplane will be sub 50. I think I can make it 48 or 49 ounces with a 60 in it. I had one. If you look at, I think Paul Taylor's got them on his channel. Wendy took a picture of, I think it was Viper 8 or 9, or I don't know. Steve Smith has got the wing out of whatever's on the wing that I converted to electric, which was a bad mistake. And I had a PA 65 in that one. It weighed 48 ounces.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, now it's going to be a electric profile, right?
Right. Yeah, I waited so long. The reason why I didn't build these is this beam here. I couldn't find the wood for this beam. Well, I happened to be coming back from Wicks, and I ran into that hardware store, the lumberyard, And I asked him if you got any clear white pine, you know, and that's this shit right here. There's no knots in it. It's this is 1 3/4 inches, but I wanted two by quarter by whatever. He said, yeah, we got a lot of that shit. We haven't sold any in 20 years because they quit using it in construction. I said, well, can I go back and look? And I went back, and I'm going to go back and buy a few more pieces. I said, I'm not going to be a big customer. I bought $5 worth, and it started out 8 ounces. And, you know, for 7 foot, it was 8 ounces. And I got it down to about 1 3/4 ounces for the beam. Then instead of wrapping tow around the top of it, I got a piece of Kevlar thread. I cut a notch in the top of the beam before I put the cap on. And this Kevlar thread runs around this way. Yeah, I'll give anybody $100 if they can break it with their hands.
Wow.
Because you'll cut yourself before you break it. It's parachute rigging cord, you know, for sewing the straps on parachutes. So that's one thing I put in. You know, Billy, he used to put carbon fiber on the trailing edges. You don't need all that crap. That airplane there didn't have no carbon fiber. It didn't have any Kevlar in it either. And so I'm just reproducing that airplane there.
Did you say pine?
Yeah, it's clear white pine.
How'd you get the weight down?
It's, well, look at it. It's, let me get this.
Whoa.
To make us dizzy.
Yeah.
The vomit cam.
See,
Oh, there you go.
it's all hollowed out.
Ah, okay. I see.
This
That's pretty good, Sparky.
it don't weigh shit. We got my wing, I think, weighs 7 ounces with all the parts, and the fuselage
Oh.
weighed, I think, 4 ounces. So we'll have about 15 ounces in the airplane, in the airframe, and the bottom block is all molded. You know, everything's molded. 1/8-inch ribs. I had some 4.5 pound 1/8 inch. You know, so it's a good airplane.
And you started this construction when?
This airplane's from 91.
I mean, you started this build when? Like what 3-4 days ago?
The 13th.
So 5 days ago. Wow.
Yeah. And I'll have, if I sit and work on it, I'll have it on its wheels by Monday. And the thing that takes the longest on this is the finish.
Yep.
The beam wings, everybody's scared of beam wing airplanes, but they're the easiest thing to build. Easy.
Yep.
Especially, I made a jig, I'll show you that, to cut the ribs. I found the old rib template, and so I just made a new, I dreamt up a new style jig. You take this here and you just slide it up to the stops, and you cut the profile, and then move the piece up. It's real simple.
Wow.
I've
Yep.
got one similar to that, Sparky.
Me too.
It's all 50s technology.
Yep.
And it works perfect. For the push rods, I'll use a thin-walled 1/4-inch aluminum tubing stuffed with balsa wood, 3/32 wire. There won't be any carbon in this at all. Well, that's not true. I did put, on this airplane here, it was plywood doublers. I didn't do this type construction back then. But this is the Randy Smith style construction. So there is carbon mat in the doubler instead of plywood. So whether that's lighter or not, I don't know. I don't think it, to me, I don't even think it needs the carbon in it. It'd probably be just as strong with the epoxy.
Did you weigh the spar on that before you
1.75 ounces, 1 3/4 ounces.
Is that with the I-beam glued on?
Yeah. I got, see these here, this one here, this is a bigger one. There's one over here. See, these were starts. This was a start to a Viper, but this was doing it the way that Billy does, you know, with a balsa core and then plywood.
Right.
This is 2.5 ounces. No good. This one here is 2 3/4 ounces. So I knew right away that these were going to be heavy airplanes when you can't get the spar down, the weight down on the spar. And what makes a beam wing airplane so nice is it takes all the weight away from this, you know, from the tips. That and they're super straight. If you got a flat piece of glass, as anybody who's built a beam wing airplane knows, it can't help but be perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Bob, is that a straight leading edge or is it tapered?
It's triple tapered. It's a tapered trailing edge and a tapered leading edge, and then it tapers this way. So it's triple tapered.
Okay. And that's all due to the spar?
Yeah, the beam wing builds off the spar. You see, I got a taper in the leading edge here and a taper in the trailing edge and a taper this way.
Very nice.
The spar is the heart of the airplane.
Yep. When I built my Colossus, it was like 700 squares, and my Tiger 51 flew it awesome.
And what did it weigh? Nothing, right?
Oh no, I had problems with the carbon because they used the wrong carbon mat on the fuselage, and it kept 63 or 4 ounces.
Oh, bummer.
And it should have been 55 to 57 ounces.
Right. If this airplane is under, if it's under 55 ounces, it'll be a dream, but I think I can make it sub 50, you know, in the 40s, 49, 48, 49. I'll know when I get it broke loose from the bench where I'm at, because you know that I know whatever this weighs, the stab is going to weigh 3 ounces. We'll try to make, I did build a few of the Vipers. I got pictures here. I'll show you.
How many square inches is that?
It's 700.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's basically the same size as the Colossus.
There's one from 90. This is a different one than that one, but there's one from about 94, I guess. And that was this one here. This is a beam elevator stabilizer.
Wow, it's pretty.
Then here is a Viper Super Glide that I had an FP40 on a pipe. That's a less nearing pipe, Bob McDonald header, and an FP40 that I modified the exhaust stack with a slant. And well, that's not a good picture. There's another picture of the bones. Here was one that I put together in a week that had a VF, no, that was a 51 in that one, but I had one of these, yeah, this is a 51 in that one, Super Tiger 51 on a pipe. Then I had this Viper that was after that one. I don't know what number that was. I forgot the number. That had a VF 46 in it. Then Viper 4, that had a VF 46 in it.
I love the VF 46.
This one here was that was Viper 3, and it had a 46 in it. That's Super Glide there. Here's a better picture. But
nice.
I didn't like this one. This has this similar paint job to this one. I didn't like this one as well as I liked this one. This one had a 51 in it, no pipe. So I didn't, I kind of shied away from the pipe. And there's another one of them. And another shot of these here. Oh, there's Viper 3.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
My first real stunt plane had a 46 VF on it too.
Well, there was a lot of 40s that were actually 46s.
Yeah.
Back when the line size was going on, they'd take the 46 liner and stuff it into a 40 case.
Yeah, so they can use 015 lines. Yeah.
But
So
now
what
we
was
could use,
different? What was different about the Super Glide?
that was a FP40 on a pipe. I pancaked it on square eights, and I broke the wing. And a beam wing is, as long as you don't break the beam, can be reassembled pretty quick. And I put it back together and it flew better. But I don't know, I just kind of lost interest in that one. But this one here, this one here really flew good. And this one here I sold to Ron O'Toole, and within 4 flights he had it in the ground. It met its demise.
Oh, that's bad. Well, thank God you have pictures.
Yeah. I got a bunch more somewhere, but these are the ones that I could find. This one was one that I really liked. So this is from 91. They got me in the book at 94. It's not correct. You know what else I noticed in that book? My P-47 is plane of the year in 07, but they got somebody else's name on it.
Oh no.
Recall.
Yeah, recall all the books. Don't matter. Everybody knows whose it was.
I remember that airplane. I wasn't there to see it, but it was beautiful.
It sat on the front row 3 years in a row.
I can see why.
I got it hanging, what's left of it up here on the wall. Ted Winterman has the wing in his basement.
When's the last time you talked to Ted Winterman?
The other day.
Really? He's still around.
Oh, look at
yeah.
that. Oh, wow, that's neat.
That's what's left of it after the crash in Memphis.
That's a neat way of commemorating the plane. I like that. I'm gonna do that to one of my planes.
That plaque is the state of Missouri. It's got a bunch of concourse. I mean, I got so many concourse awards with it. I mean, I got more. I just haven't put them up there. Them little
wow.
Those are all from local contests, right?
Yeah, Broken Arrow and let's see. I got the Memphis Stunt Classic. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those for that airplane. Pilot's Choice, and then all them other little plaques are from Broken Arrow. Different years.
Sparky, I got my Crash Tony is glued to the wall in my hobby room the same way. It's not glued to a plaque, but it's glued to the wall.
Yeah.
I think that's a neat idea that Sparky has. You should put your Tony with the, but you got the concourse award with that at the Golden State Stunt Championship, right?
No, this is the first one. I still have the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one wasn't quite as exotic. Of course, it was a lot lighter too. And the lead out cable broke at the bell crank.
Ah, man.
It pulled through the brass tubing.
Oh, man.
So anyway, I took the fuselage, cut it off flush, and reached up and glued it up on the wall out of the way. But everybody walks in, there it is, glued to the wall.
You know what made me sick about crashing my airplane is that I had 4 hours to think about it as it rode home in the back of the car.
Yes.
I mean, it probably was salvageable, but I just didn't have it in me to salvage it, you know. it hit flat and the wing broke right in the center. And I just said, you know what? And I just broke the wings off. I gave one to Ted, the one wing to Ted, threw the other out, and I sawed the back of the fuselage off. It ran out of fuel in the 4-leaf clover, and it went over the top, and I just couldn't run fast enough to make the lines tight. By the time it got to the end of the lines, I had just enough time to give it up. It turned and just pancaked into the ground.
Oh, it's too bad. That's awful. Now, like when we crash, I wonder if we should like try to don't make any decisions for a while because we're so upset. You know, we might be anxious to discard it or whatever. But
here's one for
It's
you.
a hard thing to do.
Here's
I know
one
it
for
is.
you. At practicing out at Booter, Thunderbolt number 2, that the one that's on the wall is number 3. Thunderbolt number 2, I used Randy's canopy glue to glue the hinges on with. Don't do that. Don't do that. My outboard hinge flew off on the hourglass. Number 2, this is at Booter Park. Barrel rolled in on me and hit about 5 foot. I wish I had a movie camera because it hit about 5 foot in front of me. And I mean, it just, when it hit the ground, because of the way they're constructed, it just looked like it went into the ground, just disintegrated, confetti.
Wow.
Ted says, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to take the lines off of this one and put it on the next one. I started
That's
flying.
right.
Yeah, it's nice when you have that luxury. When you have that luxury, that's nice.
We cleaned up the mess and I started it up and I started flying number 3 and I took that one. That was the first year I got on the front row with the Thunderbolt.
Very good. Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to end the live stream. We can continue on in the afternoon. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Thank you for the chat in the chat box. And we had at the height of the show, I think 26 viewers, and we end up with 25 likes. So thank you very much. I hope you have a chance to do some flying or building this weekend and come back Monday and tell us all about it. So until then,